you doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ball Hogs PH. It is our NBA Finals episode. My name is Aaron Ataide. To my left, it is Mr. Jinno here in the studios of Digital 5 and all the way in Las Vegas. Once again, Mr. Mo Twister. How you guys doing?
Very good.
We're good. We're still in preview mode, man. This is a long time, man. We've been waiting a long time for these finals, and now we got to wait an entire week. But what is it? 3 days away now?
Yeah, about 3 more days. So June 1 there, right? June 1
forever.
Yeah. So Thursday there, Friday here.
We've been waiting pretty much 9 months already.
We knew this was going to happen, right?
This is not a shocker.
This is not a shocker.
We all knew that it was going to get to this, and here we are. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We've been waiting almost an entire year to the date to have this rematch. And here we are with so many stories that have come across. What is your favorite storyline heading into our game one happening this week? Finally.
Well, for me, it's this will really show how LeBron James is we all consider. I think majority of the world consider that the best basketball player on the planet, currently active, and if he does manage to, I wouldn't say carry his team, but help Cleveland get the back-to-back, and plus the fact that over KD despite over the Warriors with KD, I think that story will at the very least, even if you're not a LeBron James fan, you have to agree that you have to put him up there with the all-time greats. Easily in the top 5.
Easily,
it should be easily in the top 5. I mean, even if you are the biggest LeBron hater.
This is if he wins.
If he wins. So that's
now, and if he doesn't win, where do we put him? Because yesterday we were talking about 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I'm with you though. Like I'm with you that I don't think it's that high. Is he 7 if he doesn't win? Because obviously they're a little ticked off, the Cavaliers, about their underdog status and how badly of an underdog they are. This is not when you get into the betting odds. Yeah, Vegas odds. This is not a close series. I mean it has like sweep written all over in terms of some of the odds that we're seeing, not just from Vegas but kind of all around. So what if he doesn't win? He's just going to be kind of still in the top 7.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I still put him up there. And I think it's still easy in the top 7 for me.
Yeah,
it's I mean, without really thinking hard, but off the top of my head, he would land well into the top 10, possibly in the top 7.
Would it really knock him out? I mean, I like Mo's point there.
If he doesn't
win, he will be what, 3 and 5?
Well, see, that's the biggest concern, right? I mean, in the biggest stage, LeBron James, if he doesn't win, LeBron James kind of doesn't get it done in the biggest stage, which is like the finals.
But see, that's the thing.
But isn't maybe all of this conversation is premature? I get the angle. I get the reason why people talk about it, because we're all, as media people, as fans especially, looking for things to kill time while we're waiting, right?
Yes.
And all of this Jordan 1, 2, 3, 7, 10, whatever talk is always premature because he's still very much involved in his career, right? So that's why. But I get it. I get why we do it, and I'm a part of that conversation as well. It's not like I'm judging people who do it. It's just it always is so premature when we go with that angle. But I guess it makes sense that if he doesn't win, does it hurt his legacy? No, but it only enhances it if he does.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's what everybody thinks. It's like maybe he won't drop to 7. Maybe he'll still stay at 5 because there's not a lot of people giving him any credit. It's kind of weird when you think about it that the best player on the planet, which everybody says hands down, and I know during the regular season I said Kawhi a lot of the time because of the two-way dominance, but yeah, right now, absolutely, LeBron's playing out of his mind, as his pedigree says, as his resume has always said, and as who he is currently. But it's funny that we're all pretty much hands down, okay, LeBron's the greatest player in the world. He's got 2 bona fide all-stars on his squad, yet they're massive underdogs.
Yes.
Like, how is that possible that the greatest player in the world and 2 of his really good friends are looked upon down so badly in this series?
And this is not the first time that he has been against a big 4. And he said it himself. He said, I've gone up against 5 Hall of Famers with Tim Duncan, Tony Parker,
Yeah, but
Manu
it's-
Ginobili, Kawhi Leonard, and Greg Popovich. I went up against 4 as well with Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, KG, and even Doc Rivers if you want to include that. He goes, I don't look at the odds. I've been down against the odds before. Why is this different? What makes this different? Because two MVPs?
Well, I mean, that's number one. You have two of you have the two MVPs on that in Steph and KD, and then aside from that, you have all of them pretty much in their prime.
Yes.
When against the Celtics, LeBron James was going up against Rondo, who was. He wasn't the prime Rondo, but he was getting there. He was definitely getting there, and you can see some sort of decline from KG. Of course, there was a little bit of help. They got help also from injuries and stuff like that. So that's for Boston side is that. For the San Antonio side, the Hall of Famers there, they're not considered, maybe aside from Duncan, they're not considered all-time greats.
They're not first ballot.
Yeah, you mean they're Hall of Famers, but a lot of that has to do with what they've done for FIBA. For France, for Argentina,
Yeah.
so I mean that to me that's the biggest difference because yes they're Hall of Famers, yes they're superstars, but are they all time greats? But if maybe all time greats is too much.
Is Clay and Draymond really
no,
all-time great?
but
Yeah.
no, but the MVP caliber.
Okay.
MVP caliber in Steph and KD. And I mean, because you look at the entire finals and you think, fine, the best player is with the Cavs in LeBron James, but the second, third, fourth best players are with the Dubs.
Are they? Well, we'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to the
Okay.
positions in a bit. What do we need to talk about when it comes to the Warriors? What is the best storyline out of Golden State? Is it just KD coming over and making the super team freaking super duper duper team? Is that it?
I think there are a lot. I mean, one of the big storylines I think I've been reading in the media, and I agree to this, is how Klay Thompson has seemed to have turned into Harrison Barnes in this series, and that the Splash Brothers are no longer around because it's all about Steph and KD, and it should be because they are your best two players. But I think the storyline that I want to focus on a little bit as the series goes along is, will Klay look unhappy? I'm sure he's never going to say he's unhappy, and if they're winning a championship, that'll never come out. But truly, is Klay upset about his role with this team, and will we see any of that? I mean, obviously he has struggled with his shot throughout the playoffs. I think he's in the only 38% shooting, I think, come playoff time, or somewhere in that ballpark, and that's not very Klay-like. And I don't know if that's mental. I don't know if he's just having a bad couple weeks, or the Splash Brothers, no one talks about it anymore, and so much of this game is confidence and being able to kind of play at a high level that people expect you. And if they don't expect you anymore, you tend to kind of fall off. And I don't know if Klay's falling off. So it's a very interesting angle for me regarding Klay Thompson. Is it going to hurt him mentally?
What about you?
Will the fans be all over him in Cleveland to
definitely.
try to kind of play on his head about it too as well?
Well, for me, I mean, yeah, I get the Klay angle. He's definitely disappeared. But one of the things, what Mo said, a lot of us are looking at the KD situation. I remember during an interview, I can't remember with who, but what KD was asked, if he doesn't win the championship, what's going to happen to, how does that hurt him?
Yeah.
And he said something along the lines, I'm paraphrasing here. He said something along the lines that it won't really bother him as a person. It doesn't make him a lesser human being if he doesn't win a championship. You would never hear LeBron James say that.
No way.
That is the end all be all for LeBron James, is to win championships. And KD, don't get me wrong, it's completely fine to think that way, but it does show, I guess, what he weighs more in life, and that's completely fine as a human being. But I guess if you're a basketball player, you have to think about especially of that caliber.
Yeah.
And I also don't know if he's saying that just to, I guess,
Take off some of the pressure?
Take off some of the pressure from himself. But it didn't seem like it. It seemed like he really did believe it. And, and to me, it's It's a
but
little
what does
bit
the body language say, though, right? I mean, he went out and joined a team that's most capable of winning multiple championships in the next few years. So I think it does show that he values it. Hey, LeBron did the same thing. He went out, assessed his situation, said, you know what, the Cavaliers don't look like they're going to be contending for titles in the next few years. I'll go join a team that will, and created a super team. Very much in the mold of what Kevin Durant did. The only difference, Durant went to a team that, that beat his team, and that's why he gets so much flack for it. But the body language shows that Kevin values a championship. He went out and joined the goddamn Warriors. He could have stayed with the Thunder and competed for one, but he went for the surer things. And these are young guys, dominant guys that look like they're going to be title contenders for the next 5 years. So maybe he's just playing the diplomatic thing to say, like, oh, there's more to life than basketball. The human being in me will this and that. And he's right on that. But the body language shows, hey, I'm out to win championships. That's why I'm joining the Warriors, just like LeBron joined the Miami Heat to win championships.
Yes, definitely. And I think that is the reason why my next question will be interesting. Who has more of the pressure? With all of these storylines, everybody has, with all the time that we've had from the last game of the conference finals until now, or even the last game 7 of the finals last year until this point, there have been stories after stories after stories and reporters asking this player and that player moving to that team, who has more pressure heading into game 1 to make sure that they take home this championship?
Oh, I don't think it's any question, and I don't think anyone would disagree, right? And obviously, it's the Warriors. They went out and got Kevin Durant, or Kevin Durant went out and joined the team. So, the Cavaliers have their title. LeBron brought his title to his city. They're done, man. I'm not saying that they're not going to compete or want to win multiple titles or want to defend that title, but there's pressure-wise, there kind of is nothing to lose. Now, there's the desire to do it. Of course, we just talked about LeBron's obsession with championships. He's going to be disappointed, but the pressure, if that's the question, of course, it all has to kind of lay with the Warriors here. They went out, got one of the greatest rosters we've ever seen or ever assembled, maybe the best offensive roster we've ever seen in the history of the NBA. So they're going to have to back that up. They're going to have to show that this is a rubber match, that they are on top of this rivalry. And I think that, though, the pressure then totally lies with them. I mean, the Cavs, the only thing that I see right now, if we're talking about angles and storylines, is the one we brought up a little while ago, that if the Cavs lose, does it hurt the LeBron legacy? But outside of that, man, they have their title. They're in the finals. If they lose to this Warriors team, not that they're going to make excuses, but us as fans, we can have an excuse. Well, that's because Kevin Durant joined the goddamn Warriors, and they became the super team. But if the Warriors lost, what a disaster that would be for their image.
And imagine if Cleveland wins one game in the first 2. That's even more pressure on Golden State.
If they went out win game 1, fine. Game 2, I mean, not so much. But if they went out game 1, of course, there's going to be a little bit of panic and all that. But again, I think the Warriors are the favorite to win this series. They have the most pressure on them, definitely, and I don't think anyone would ever say the Cavaliers.
No, I completely agree. I mean, it's you made the finals last year. You were one of the best regular season team. You were a Draymond Green suspension away from a back-to-back title. And then you went out and get the second best player in the world in Kevin Durant. So they're favored, as we mentioned the Vegas odds earlier. They're heavily favored in this series, which I don't understand. You're still going up against the defending champions. So I mean, it's a little bit strange but I get why, because the way the Vegas odds work is that the odds makers make it predicting who the bettors are going to bet on.
Yes.
Right. So I mean, that's the reason why it looks that way. So I guess.
But remove the Vegas odds. Who's the favorite for you? Who's the favorite for Jinno Rufino?
It's still Golden State. The way they've played.
It's the same thing though.
Yeah.
Whether it's about betting or whether it's
true. But I wouldn't put it. It wouldn't be such a big gap between the two for me though. I would say about 60% Golden State, 40% Cleveland.
All right. Well,
you know what's interesting is if we break this down player by player, which we will. I mean, position by position, right? Yeah. You will see that the Cavaliers look like they should be favored in this series when you go player to position to position. And it's interesting. I mean, do you want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do that now. Let's do it.
Okay, so let's go Steph and Kyrie, right? Yeah. Who do you think's the better matchup, or who's got the edge in this thing? Now, you got two guys who have the best ball handles in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Steph's the better shooter, but boy, can Kyrie drain it, right? Mm-hmm. Kyrie's clutch. We've seen Steph struggle come big big playoff scenarios, finals, and stuff like that. Who's a better defender? It's probably a wash.
Yeah.
So you have the greatest shooter in the NBA, but you've got a guy way more clutch, I think, than Steph is, and has proven it, and who can drive and score to the basket better than Steph, though Steph can do it as well. You might go, well, I think Kyrie's got the edge here, considering the environment, considering what's going on, right? So maybe some of us will give Kyrie that edge. Shoot, I might even give Kyrie that edge. He's outplayed Steph on the one-on-one matchups. I think Kyrie outscores Steph 26-23 in their matchups. So he has proven to win this matchup of the point guards, right? Okay, so let's give it to Kyrie. LeBron Durant, obviously. LeBron. Yes. I think what's Durant's record against LeBron? Like 4-15 or something? It's not even close. So let's say LeBron takes that one. Tristan Thompson over Jaja Pachulia. We're probably going to give it to Tristan Thompson, right? I mean, obviously, not just for the obvious stuff, but maybe when Jaja's coming back from an injury, let's even give him that. Tristan takes that one. Draymond versus Kevin Love. Kevin Love has been fantastic in the playoffs with his shot. He's also kind of building himself as to be one of the best outlet passers in the game. Draymond, of course, probably going to win a Defensive Player of the Year. So let's call this even. You take Draymond's defense, but Kevin Love's elite offense and his passing skills have been greatly improved. So let's call this even. So you have Kyrie winning, Tristan winning, LeBron winning, and then the only place that I see the Warriors have a large differential in terms of the position would be Klay versus J.R. Smith.
And Klay has been struggling.
Yeah.
And Klay, but so is J.R. Smith. So let's just say, when you line this up, Klay's the only one where you go, oh, okay, yeah, that's not that close. Everything else either is tied or favors the Cavaliers. Yet the Cavaliers are massive underdogs. It's really, really interesting.
It really is.
Best player in the world, LeBron James. Position by position, we can argue that the Cavs are better equipped at each position, and they have their head coach. The Warriors don't. If we take that angle, the bench might even be better for the Cavaliers. Yet, why are they still underdogs?
Yeah, I mean,
to all of us, including the odds makers.
Yeah, I think part of it is because of the way the Warriors have looked throughout the playoffs, throughout the regular season. I mean, they've just.
But again, I hate to cut you off, but let's throw in another angle using that argument, right?
Yeah.
And again, it's not like I disagree with you. I'm with you. I think the Warriors are still favored, right? Yeah. But I'm just trying to throw these things out there for conversation's sake. The Warriors have yet to play a healthy team.
Yes.
Every team that's true. Right. So they've yet to play a healthy team. So they've looked great, but they've looked great against an injured squad each and every time. The only time they've played a completely healthy squad was Game 1 with San Antonio, and they had Kawhi. They played against Kawhi for 3 quarters or 2 quarters, right?
And they were down by 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're down by 25. So they've yet to play a healthy team. So while they've looked great against not just inferior, but injured playoff teams. So that shiny record of theirs, their undefeated record, might not be as shiny. Yet, overwhelming favorites. Why?
I think that it's just because of the manner of the victories. I mean, yes, they are playing against teams that are injured and inferior to some extent, but it was how easy they made it look, despite who they were playing against. I mean, we saw the Cleveland come in and they're what, 12 they're 12-1. And they did not make it look as easy as Golden State did. They struggled against.
Yes, they did.
In some teams,
Indiana
was a sweep, but it was a close.
Right, but
sweep.
Sweep nevertheless, and let's not say struggled, because struggle there's no struggle there. It just maybe wasn't an ass kicking.
It was not an ass kicking the same way the Golden State was, and I guess everybody is seeing that and looking at the point spread and saying, "Shit, this has got to be the most dominant team ever."
And just for that alone, so play devil's advocate again, because I'm with you. Just for that, we're going to disregard position by position. It's not dominance because it's not, but upper hand.
Yes.
Coaching upper hand, if we're going to throw that in there. I'm not sure how you feel about the bench of both squads, but I like the Cavs bench a lot. And the fact that they have the best player in the NBA or the world in LeBron James, and we're gonna take all of that just based on the Warriors looking good against a bunch of teams that didn't have their guys.
That's a very good point.
It's weird.
It is weird.
It
is weird.
It is strange that it's such a big gap.
Is it the home court advantage? Oh, because the Warriors are going to open up in San Francisco, right? I mean, no.
And it's how big of a favor it is. I mean, if you gave it to Golden State, where you're like, okay, Golden State is going to win, over 7 games, and that's what all the odds makers would see it, then fine, cool. I even see it when we'll get to our predictions later on. It's an ass whooping. We said it at the start that this was looking like a sweep. Why?
When you say looking like a sweep in terms of how favored they are,
Yeah.
I don't. That's what.
Well, the regular season. I think sometimes when you look at the regular season, and you're reminded how bad Cleveland was defensively. But they have gotten considerably better come playoff time. They've just been better. I mean, they went from one of the worst teams in the NBA during the regular season to a pretty good one here by being able to defend, field goal percentage-wise, stuff like that has been very good. Though they give up a ton of open looks, they did that to the Celtics. The Celtics just weren't able to knock them down. The Warriors will knock those down.
Yeah,
But that's going to be an adjustment that the team will make in practice for the finals. It's different. Maybe they left the shots open for the Celtics because they knew the Celtics probably wouldn't be hitting them at the rate another team would. So that could just be an adjustment. I think the Cavaliers, though, improved immensely defensively here, and maybe that's why we were thinking not giving them much of a chance is because we remember how bad they were during the regular season, but in the postseason, they've been pretty good.
They have been.
Yeah, and because they cared.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been ragging on them for so long. Have we just brainwashed ourselves to look at Cleveland and say, okay, they don't have good defense and they can't beat Golden State? Because we were saying that for 82 games of the regular season.
Maybe not 82, but
about 60.
About
70. Yeah, it's about 65, something like that.
Maybe it's just the other way around. Maybe it's not what Cleveland lacked. It's just really what the Warriors had and continue to have. And they come in healthy generally, right? Relatively healthy. They don't have their coach. Maybe Jaja coming off a little injury, but their big guns are healthy and rested. So they're terrifying. They're terrifying on paper. They're terrifying when we watch them. And a lot of it's not we're discrediting Cleveland. It's just we're over-crediting the Warriors because they are so sexy.
They are. Let's talk about the coaches.
Devastating.
Coaches and the bench. Let's take a look at this because, I mean, you went through the positions. Yes, they are in favor of Golden State or Cleveland, depending on how you want to look at it, of course. But what about the coaches? There's no Steve Kerr. He will be taking on his former team. Now, as Mike Brown will be coaching for the sidelines. Tyronn Lue back at the finals, and the benches that they will be running. Is this in favor of who?
Well, I mean, the coaches. I mean, you still have Steve Kerr talking to the team during halftime, right? I mean, he's still watching the games. He's still, communicating. I know it's not the same because he's not there, but it's he's still communicating with the team throughout the game. But if you're Mike Brown and you see this, you just have to keep it going. You have to say the same thing that you've been doing for the entire season. You just have to keep it going and keep the same. You try and maintain the culture when they face adversity. That's going to be, I think, where you'll see the biggest test for Mike Brown because. Let's say Cleveland does get one of the two games in the Bay Area, then there's going to be a lot of pressure now on Mike Brown, and history shows at least what he's done in his past jobs as head coach with the Lakers, with Cleveland.
So much anger.
He didn't do too well. Let's just say he didn't do too well. But obviously now it's a different team. It's a different culture. Maybe he's learned a thing or two since then. And who knows, man? If he manages to pull this off, he could be getting another head coaching job next year.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Mo?
Yeah, the only time I think that the Warriors are going to be tested if these games are close, and maybe we don't know who's going to be calling the plays. Is it going to be Coach Brown? Is it going to be the players? In a close game, the Warriors are going to have their backs against the wall because they're a team that tends to try to hit home runs or play hero ball, take big threes in big situations, and it doesn't work out well for them. They can blow the Cavs out any given night. So I don't think it's, if the Cavs take one at home, that's where where the pressure's going to be. The pressure's going to be in the fourth quarter when the game's on the line. What are you going to do, Coach Brown? Because that's where the Warriors can be beat when these games are close. So I mean, we're going to give the coaching edge probably to Cleveland just because that's the guy that they've ran with all season long. And at the same time, though, rotations are smaller when it comes to these kind of a series that I don't think Coach Brown's going to have to do a lot of coaching. It's going to be let's do what got us here. And let's ride our big horses and let's go get a title. Now, if the games are close, that's where I worry about the coaching situation and Kerr not being there. Who's going to cook up the play? And is Brown capable of getting the trust of his team that I'm going to work up a late game play for this guy or for that guy, and it's going to work out.
Speaking of that rotation, I'm guessing that it would be about a 7 or 8 man rotation all throughout the series.
Sure.
So for Cleveland, it will be probably Duran, Iman, and Channing Frye, or probably Kyle Korver. Yeah. Right. And then for Golden State, it would be Iguodala, Sean Livingston, and probably JaVale McGee that will be getting most of those minutes at that. So with those 3, maybe 4 guys, who has the edge? I have it at Cleveland as well. This is so weird. I mean, if you really, but again, it's all about
not
paper.
by a lot, not by a lot.
No,
and
it's
it's not one of these things like their bench is much better than Golden State's. Golden State has always had a good bench year after year, even though it's a lot of different faces and stuff. Iguodala's a Finals MVP just recently, so there's a lot there. But it's going to be a short rotation. They're probably not going to play a ton of minutes. Obviously, maybe Iguodala will lead the bench in minutes for both squads. They're going to ride the big guns. And it's the big guns that got them here. It's the reason they brought him in, and that's what we're going to see. We're going to see heavy minutes, and nobody's going to be tired with a week off.
Oh, no.
There's not going to be any of those issues. They're going to play 40 minutes. Maybe each of the big stars are going to play 40 minutes just because they should, and they have to, and they're rested. So I don't think the bench are going to be a big factor, though you always have to watch out for some of the veterans. Maybe Deron Williams hits a big 3,
I think,
because he's got that pedigree and he's got also that history. And that might mean the series. That might mean a big game, right? Korver or Williams hitting a big time 3. So we'll see if that happens, and I wouldn't be shocked if it does.
I completely agree with you. I mean, when they acquired Deron Williams, I remember thinking to myself that this could be the guy. I'm not saying he's going to be consistently one of the best point guards like what he was several years ago, but he could be the difference maker when it comes to a 7-game series against the Golden State Warriors, and he can if Kyrie just so happens to have a bad game, somebody who was considered one of the best point guards or maybe even the best point guard at one point in his career. He's gonna remember that. Hey, I'm in the NBA Finals. I can win a championship, and he's gonna channel that inner beast.
Yeah. if you
I'm sure we can. Can we all see it right now? It's Game 5.
Yeah,
it's the fourth quarter. Doing something. Freaking Kyrie's double teamed. Someone is guarding, LeBron and Kevin Love, and all of a sudden there's a guy there. He's wide open. Is Deron Williams, and he can absolutely hit a big 3 there to win them a game. We can all picture it. We can almost all see it because that's what veterans do.
Yeah.
Veterans who have had success in the past, they've got the confidence. They know they're not going to be playing, 30 minutes, but when they're out there for 11, 12 minutes, they can hit some key shots, right?
Gary
and that's
Payton
what veterans can do.
Gary Payton did it with the Heat.
And we said that when Kyle
and it could
Korver
mean everything.
Yeah,
it could mean everything in this series. And I think, we're going to see one of those.
Oh,
so,
sure.
Hey, if it's going to be Patrick McCaw the other way, then so be it as well.
Yeah, you don't see McCaw hitting that one. You see Darren Williams hitting that one, or Kyle Korver hitting that one, or Andre Iguodala hitting that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. On the other side, you see Iguodala, maybe Livingston. So you see some of those guys on the other side as well. But it's just, I guess, just Deron was such a great player.
Oh, man.
And then
he's never been to the finals.
That's why.
This is going to be the first time, and
that's the whole.
There's
reason
no
why
pressure on him to lift that team.
This could be a series that Deron Williams will remember. Oh, remember the try by Deron Williams in the NBA Finals?
Yeah, no, totally, right?
Yeah.
We can all kind of super picture it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the X factor now. What does Cleveland need to win this championship? What does Golden State need to win this championship? I mean, I guess now, when you do peel away all of the media, outlets and the way that everybody's talking about it and the betting lines, it really is a lot closer than a lot of people say. So what does Cleveland need to do to win this? What is the X factor for this series?
Keeping it close, slowing the game down, I think, for Cleveland. Remember, last season it came down to a Game 7 with, a minute and a half left in the year. Mm-hmm. And the Warriors, they didn't win, so they went out and got Kevin Durant. And I think if Cleveland can slow the game down, on occasion, of course, run on the open floor, the way we've seen Kevin Love get rebounds and kind of just jack it across the court and have, LeBron finish or something like that. On occasion, do that. But you want to slow the Warriors down. You want to get them out of their fluid ball movement, cutting to the basket and hitting threes and getting kind of just momentum going. If you can do that and keep it close to the end, and like I said, last season it came down to the end, that's where your guys like LeBron, Kyrie can start hitting the big shots for you to win ball games. I brought it up a little earlier. The Warriors tend to hero ball it every now and then. We saw Kevin Durant do it when he was Oklahoma City. We see him do it when he's with Golden State. And Steph and Klay all kind of suffer from the same thing. They all want to be heroes at the end by jacking up big-time threes. They can do that with big leads. But when it's close, that's where I worry for the Warriors. So if Cleveland wants to win this, they got to keep these games close.
Jinno.
Well, I mean, there's truth to that, definitely, because if you play a little bit faster, you're playing right into the hands of the Golden State Warriors. But I think Cleveland has to be a little bit more physical as well. They have to use the muscle that they have there to slow down these guys. I mean, yes, you have to control the pace, control the boards, control the possessions, but at the same time, one of the ways to do that is to be a little bit more physical with I know it's been said before, you get physical with Steph, get physical with Klay, and get these guys. But that will also get into the heads, especially if you get, we saw it last year with Draymond Green. I don't know if that's embedded in his head that he won't commit the same mistake. But if you're Cleveland, I would roll the dice and do it again.
Why not?
I definitely, because it worked last year. Mm-hmm. It's worked throughout parts of the regular season. Maybe you can get in his head again. And if that happens, then hey, advantage Cleveland.
For me,
I mean, but the Warriors are tough too, though.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of tough guys. They're tougher guys this year.
Yeah, they're tougher guys.
Josh is a tough dude.
Yeah.
West's a tough guy. Iguodala's a tough guy. Draymond Green obviously is a tough guy. So it's not going to be as easy, and the rebounding differential is not going to be as predictable. I know that the weakness of the Warriors was supposed to be the rebounding, but they had the second best contested rebound rate in the NBA. The Cavs, in fact, are not a good rebounding team, and they haven't been a good rebounding team in the playoffs.
Which is the biggest hurdle that they have to.
Yeah, but it's surprising.
Right. So I think it's advantage Warriors on the boards. But I agree with you. I think LeBron needs to post up a little bit more, flex a lot more muscle. Yes, be physical, but always realize that the Warriors are not pushovers. They're not a bunch of scrawny little kids. You look at Durant and Steph, and you look at their frame, and maybe there's a misconception there. But they got some bruisers on that team that can pound as well down low.
Or injure your star player.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think LeBron needs to flex muscle. Maybe not the Cavaliers, but LeBron himself has to just impose strength.
Which goes back to he is really the main storyline here.
Yeah. And
for the finals.
For me, the one thing, I mean, we talked about how surprising how good the Golden State Warriors are at rebounding. I was surprised when I saw the stat that the Cavaliers are shooting better three-pointers than they're a better three-point shooting team in the playoffs than Golden State is. And so that is going to be my X factor. If they can hit those outside shots and make sure that Golden State will keep it from, like what we were saying a while ago, that they can close out in the way that they weren't able to do so against Boston, then I think that will be it. My biggest X factor for Golden State, and I know it's going to sound kind of weird here, is Steph Curry. I mean, we have not seen this guy perform well in a pressure situation.
Against Kyrie, he hasn't performed well.
And if you really look at it in the last two finals that these two teams have met, this is the most pressure that there will be on Golden State. I mean, yes, they won 73-9 the last one, but it's not with as much pressure as they have right now.
But Steph has responded. Steph has had a fantastic playoffs. So maybe, and maybe Steph's thinking about himself, or I as a fan, that he was hurt, man. He was hurt last year. And that's a legitimate excuse. This year he's not hurt, and he looks amazing. So I'm not sure if it's in his head as much as it is in his body. And if his body's ready to go, dude, you got to watch out with Steph. You're right. The Cavaliers are number one in three-point percentage in the playoffs. They lead the playoffs in three-pointers made per 100 possessions. But you're going up against a much better defensive, offensive combo team that the Warriors are. And I don't think those numbers are going to be as easy to get against Golden State as they did with the other East competition.
But you have to look also who Steph has gone up against.
He went up against George Hill?
I mean, it's
and DeJounte
Lillard. I mean, it's What do you mean? Like
he's played well against decent competition. Now he's going to go up against one of the best point guards in Kyrie, who always just so seems like he always plays well against.
But Kyrie's not a good defender. And right. Historically, we said this. Kyrie has played better against Steph.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if I was Steph, if I've got an excuse why I didn't show up, is because I was hurt. But guess what? I'm not hurt right now, and I'm playing really, really well. And I have Kevin Durant this time.
that kind of changes things a little bit.
Where I don't have to do so much often, and I can find myself with an open look, and I don't have to force crazy off-balance threes that went in during the regular season but didn't go in the postseason. And I have help.
And that's why I think he is the X factor. I mean, it will just come down to that.
Okay.
All right, okay, let's get to it. All right, you might have had a prediction at the start of this, and then might have convince yourself otherwise this time around. So, who wins and how many games? So far, I mean, to give like a little bit of a recap.
So
we've done pretty well. We've done pretty well with our predictions on this show.
Yeah.
But
we're not doing game 1, game 2, we're just gonna go finals.
Oh, okay.
Let's
just
go.
If we go, per 2 games now. I don't know. Who wins and how many?
Before the season, before the playoffs, I said Cleveland would win. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, and you guys were poking fun at me because we brought it up again.
I'll still poke fun of you
during the stretch when LeBron decided to go on vacation, and so did the Cleveland defense because they weren't doing anything for the last month of the regular season. And I thought they were just trolling everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't. They just said, okay, we'll go through the motions. If we win, we win. We lose, we lose. It didn't matter. They make the playoffs. We all knew that even if they were second seed, they'd still be dominant. They were, and they turned it up. And here we are in the finals with the Cleveland Cavaliers that I thought would have been there for most of the way. Having said that, no, but I mean, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to stick with what I said during the regular season that the Cleveland Cavaliers would repeat. But if it goes to 7, I have to. I mean, if it's 6 games, it's Cleveland. If it goes 7, it's the Dubs. Can I make that prediction?
Yeah, do whatever you want, but
6 Cleveland and then 7.
I thought most people, and you don't have to do what most people. I think 7 games is where the Cavaliers would win. And that anything under that, it's the Warriors. So the Warriors can win in 4, 5, and 6,
true.
but can't win in 7.
Well, just so everybody knows, Stephen A. picked.
I know. And
he changed it. He picked the
the
Warriors.
He picked the Warriors.
He picked the Warriors in 7. So
he officially said the Warriors in 7.
Yeah.
Well, which is the kiss of death. So
exactly.
That fucks up my thing. But no, I think the Warriors will take it in 6. I would be nervous for them in 7. I think the Cavaliers have a very good shot at winning in 7.
Yeah.
I will.
On the road.
I will.
5 games. 5 games.
I initially wanted. I want Cleveland to win. Like I really want LeBron to win this so bad. But I really thought that about a couple of hours ago, I really thought Golden State was going to win in 5. Now I have it to add 6. I have Golden State in 6. And that is.
And did we change your mind on that one?
No,
it was
the
stuff we were talking about. That maybe the Warriors might be overrated.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, there was a lot of points that you guys brought up that didn't really occur to a lot of people when they think about this, and now it really does. I mean, this is a lot closer than a lot of people think, and I just might put some money on this already because it's just like. Man, those betting lines are crazy.
You might because listen, what would let's say since we're talking Vegas, what would $100 get you if you were betting for the Cavaliers? $230 to $250 USD,
hey, not bad.
Something like that. Is that something like $220?
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I would take that bet.
And then if you bet 100 on the Warriors, you get like $35
$30
out of it.
30 something. Yeah.
30 something and change, right?
Hey,
so yeah, I mean, maybe the right business deal is to go with the Cavaliers. I think though, while I was bringing up my points where Kyrie's probably better than Steph and LeBron's better than KD, what we forget is the intangibles because this is a team game. Yes, one by one. One by one, the Cavaliers look great. They may even look favored if you can spin it in your mind a little bit perfectly, But no one is more fluid than the Warriors. No one moves without the ball better than the Warriors. No one passes the ball better than the Warriors. Defensively, no one is left that are better than the Warriors. So in all other aspects, when you make this a team game, which it is, it's a 5-on-5 game at any given, the entire time. The Warriors are a better all-around basketball team.
Yes.
And that's why I have the Warriors winning anywhere between 5-6, and then, I'll give the Cavs game 7 if it goes that far.
This is not going to be a sweep. Can we lock that in?
God, no. No.
It won't be a sweep. But all I'm saying, like, if there is going to win, if it's going to end in 4, 5, or 6, the Warriors are going to win.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, if it's a short if it's a short series,
Man, if this is a sweep, I'm going to watch that championship in Cleveland.
Yeah. Hey, you're going to be there, and whoever wins game 3 and 4, that's where you're going, right?
Yeah.
Game 3 and 4. Dude, it's quite an experience.
Oh, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, we all want 7, though, obviously.
Oh, definitely.
This is super anticipated.
I'll take 6 because I
really,
predicted Cleveland in 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would
Or
really
Warriors.
be a shame if it became a sweep because we waited all year, like you said earlier, for it. We waited all season long for this. For it to be a sweep,
Can we
would be
make
a
it
travesty.
best of 9?
Yes, just so that it's
Seriously.
done in 9 games.
Just make it best of 9. Like,
Because all of these angles, dude, LeBron angles, it's never happened before. 2 teams meet 3 times in a row. I mean, everything is so historical this, historical that.
Somebody
Best
sweep.
ever this, best ever that. And then putang ina sweep lang pa. So, no, I get it. I get it. Like, let's not let that happen. But if we're betting, you want to put your money on the Cavs, but I'm going to bet on what I think is going to happen. Cavaliers will lose in 6 games. The Warriors are champs.
Would you guys be willing to do a bet?
Oh, with us here?
Yeah.
Sure. What do you guys want to do?
I don't know.
Money, or are we going to dress up like Instagram something?
Well,
What's
Gino's the only
deal?
one that went Cleveland.
I went Cleveland in 6, Warriors in 7, so I have both.
No.
All right, I got it.
Fine,
If the
fine,
Cavaliers lose, Jinno Rufino, you cannot cut your hair for a year.
Wow.
You cannot cut your hair for a year. You can't cut your hair until
No,
the end of next year's finals.
I can't.
I don't care how ugly you are.
I can't do that.
I can't. It's just hair. What are you so vain for?
No, it's
the moneymaker, man.
I'll go. I'll turn right. I'll dye my hair pink for a year.
Because
For
you did pick
work-
Golden State, that's why.
for work.
Don't tell me endorsements.
No, dude, I have to for work.
There's no job out there that cares about your bald head. No job out there. Who do you think you are, Aldub? Who do you think you are that they care about your hair that much? Shut up.
I've had a company tell me you have to shave your
please.
head again.
That is such horseshit.
Because you don't look like Jinno Rufino. I've heard it.
You don't look like Jinno.
No, I'm serious.
What the
Somebody said it to
hell?
me. Direct Sid, I'm talking to you. Direct Sid, you made me shave my head.
No, and we're unmaking you. Direct Mo says you're keeping it for a year. By the way, no haircuts, right? So you better look like Jesus at the end of the finals next season.
I guess we're not gonna have a bet. All right, we're gonna cut to a break.
Dude, I said I would do my hair pink for you, man. That's worse. That's worse.
No, Gino's not gonna bite on
I
this.
can't do
He's
that.
not gonna bite on
Dude,
this.
Jinno, by the way, if I may, you would look, I mean, as much as I'm not the biggest fan, though I did give my son a man bun, I think you could rock a man bun. You got a small enough face for it. You're a handsome guy. You'll be a little late to the party, but
Very late to the party.
yeah, but so what? You can rock that, man. Dude, you're a better looking guy than all 3 of us. Sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, it's okay.
Guy as well, But if any of
I'm
the
used
3 of
to
us
it.
can rock a man bun, it would be you.
That is true.
Oh, thanks, Mo.
That I think he will take that as a win.
Yeah, so you get the Cavaliers as champions. You look
I don't
good
care
for
if the Cavs win it.
entire
I don't
year,
really.
and then
You get the number 2 pick.
What? You care more about your hair than the NBA Finals? I thought you were a sportsman.
We're getting to a break. 1-on-1 when we return. And we're back, everybody, here on Ball Hogs PH. Welcome. My name is Aaron Ataide with Jinno Rufino, of course. Mo Twister in Las Vegas. Welcome back. Joining us on the show, very good friend of, I believe, all of us here at Ball Hogs. One of my kuyas, really.
He's all of our kuyas.
Yeah, definitely.
Or I'm not sure if he's most kuya.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think we're that. He's more. How old is Rovilson? Is he in his 40s?
I'll let him answer
we will never know. That and the real meaning of San Diego, we will never know.
What is it about guys? What about guys and bald guys? You know, Tony does the same thing. He doesn't show you his driver's license or his passport because he keeps that stuff hidden regarding age.
Why? Have you ever seen Booms?
Boom's like 48.
No. You see the same way?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think they're all batchmates.
Well, listen. Yeah, but Rovilson is also best friends with Mark Nelson, who's like 50. And nobody knows that. No, that's one of those hidden secrets because he's so good looking, right? He's so chiseled and beautiful, man. But you don't know that Mark Nelson's guy. He's like 47 years old.
Well, let's ask him. Welcome everybody to Ball Hogs. Rovilson Fernandez joining us on the show.
I'm looking it up on Wikipedia as we speak.
Gentlemen, what is up? I love it. Starting with the age question. Well, I'm calling you from my wheelchair. I really got a broken back too. It's ironic, but I got that from playing sports and being active and being young. So. Defensive.
All right. So Mark Nelson is officially 45 years old. How old are you, Rovilson?
I am 43.
Lying.
44 in September.
I thought
Yeah.
I really
44?
I'm okay
44?
with my age. I love telling people my age. It's Mark who has a hang up with his age, and I don't think he should hide it as well because he looks great
amazing.
for being 45. Seriously.
Yeah.
We don't even know.
Seriously, I don't know why Mark he doesn't really hide it. If you ask him, he'll tell you, but he doesn't. Or he doesn't. He prefer for people not to know.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
He
You
would
have to
prefer-
ask him outright, point blank, 5 times, like in a night. What's your birthday again? Oh, well, the weather's fantastic right now, and I've been kiteboarding, and he just
What about those
so
Warriors?
easily.
Right. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, no, exactly. He'll just talk about the finals or something like that. But anyway, that's what we're actually here to do, Rovilson. I thank you for taking the time out to hanging out with us here.
Oh man, you kidding me? When Jinno said podcast sports, that's my jam, man. And I've always wanted to work with you guys, so real honor to be here.
What did you want to talk about?
Obviously, it has something to do with the Dubs.
Oh yes. Big Dubs fan. We're super excited that this is happening for us. I mean, I don't even need to get into what we've had to endure for the last since I've been a Dubs fan, growing up in the Bay, 30 years.
Real
plus.
Dubs fan.
Yeah, that's a legit one right here.
It's a legit fan.
I mean,
yeah.
legit as far as we suffered. We've been there, and we this is just an amazing time for us. It's really magical. But anyway, it's also magical not just for the Dubs fans, but geez, we're getting an insane finals now. 3 times for these teams to meet in the playoffs, and it's even 1-1, and this is the rubber match. I mean, and both teams are playing at their highest level in the playoffs in the playoffs at this time. It's insane. I mean, I really don't understand how people can call the playoffs boring because it's a great trilogy. It's a movie in the making, man.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So what did you want to debate today?
Your topic. You had a topic.
About
I think we were discussing about the how the Warriors have become a little bit of the kind of like the Yankees, the evil empire, or the bad guys. The bad guys, right? They have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Absolutely. Well, that's kind of funny because we, the Warriors, I mean, we've been so under the radar for so long. To even be considered a bad guy would mean some form of respect, Okay. So, and this is what we've been fighting for decades, was just to get a little bit of respect, a little bit of shade thrown our way. But it's always about the LA teams. It's about, the Midwest teams. Sacramento even had a time before we did. We were, even though we're supposed to be the big brother in the Bay Area, we got overshadowed by the Sacramento Kings for a bit. But anyway, so I keep divulging. But, there was a time when, we were considered the bad guys. But the Yankees, you brought up the Yankees. I mean, they built their evil empire through free agency, and basically these guys were mercenaries in a way. So you kind of wanted to be angry at them. They got the best because they paid for the best, but they paid the most. Mm-hmm. So we, the Warriors, we built our team through the draft. We were just smart about it. We finally learned how to master the draft.
Wait, bro, you're giving your bullets a little bit here. Just before you give your reason, so you're saying that the Warriors are not the bad guys, or have not become the bad guys.
Or no, you're proud that they're the bad guys.
Or you're proud.
Is that what I
Well,
heard?
I'm proud to be considered a bad guy, but you know what? The Dubs, the current Dubs team, they can't be the bad guys.
Okay.
I mean,
so you're saying that right now this Warriors team is not the bad guy in the NBA Finals right now?
oh no, they couldn't be. We want to be. We want that swag. We want that demeanor. But we're just the nice guys. We still are. We're just a victim of our success as a team as a whole. Individually, we're all nice guys. I mean,
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we can't be evil.
let's see who will be going up against you in this debate. Does anybody here think that Golden State is the bad guy? Mo.
Oh, absolutely. Like, they're dicks. And
Let's just leave it to Mo.
I'm upset about that because I've been a Warriors fan since the Sonics lost their their franchise. I love this team, and I don't want to say I hate them this year, but I've been disappointed. I'm not going to root against them against the Cavaliers, but they're dicks. They're dicks, and they've been dicks all year long, and it's a shame. And I don't even like talking about me being a Warriors fan because of some of the personalities we have on this squad.
Oh
Wow.
That deep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what?
All right, Rovi, go ahead. Go ahead.
We have to see.
Awesome.
I have to see this.
What were some of those dick moments? I would love to hear. I mean,
I will enumerate it in dick mode.
Okay, go from limp to
Littlest
soft
dick
all the way to fully erect. Go.
Okay, listen. You usually will let our caller go first, but I'll go first if you want me to go first, and I'll tell you why I'm so excited about it. Well, let's start off with the Kevin Durant moving to Golden State. I'm one of the first guys you'll find defend it. I have no problem with Kevin Durant moving to the Warriors. He has all the right to do so. It's part of his his right as a basketball player to do what he wants come free agency. I have no issue with going with a team that beat his team in the Western Conference Finals. He is friends with Steph Curry. I talked about Durant going to Golden State in January of the other year prior to the moving because I would hear the rumblings possibly about it. So I have no issue there. It's when he got there, and we did see a little bit of him being already dicey with the media, but he's gone full douchebag on everybody and everything. He picks fights with the mascots. He verbally abuses players on the other team. He does not answer questions. He just kind of feels pissed off all the time. Draymond,
right.
we already know he's a dick, but I give him a pass because I think every team can have one asshole, and I'm okay with that. And that's Draymond, right? I'm okay with that. He'll get suspended for kicking people in the balls. I'm fine. You have one guy who's an edge guy. Okay, we're good. But now we have Zaza Pachulia, who knocked out Kawhi Leonard in the Western Conference Finals, down by 25, knocked him out. You had the fans cheering MVP for Zaza Pachulia when that happened, which now makes the fan base fucking assholes, right? JaVale McGee was kind of historically been a dick himself. I mean, this team has lost all its remnants of what good guys used to be, which was Steph Curry. All the work Steph Curry has put on these past few years in being a positive role model with everybody loving him, his wife, his kids, his mom, his brother, his sister, his dad. Like, everybody liked them because they were good guys. Klay Thompson was a humble guy, never really said anything. He could have been mayabang all he wanted because he's one of the great shooters of all time at a young age. But no, he always referred to Steph as the alpha, and he was okay with that. They were just humble guys. Iguodala's a high character guy. Even the bench guys were all high character guys. Now you got Matt Barnes on the bench. He's been a dick his whole life. So Barnes is a dick. Zaza's a dick. Durant's a dick. Draymond's a dick. That's 20% of your squad. 40% of your squad are now dicks. And you've wasted all that Steph has done. Steph has just, been the best-selling jersey, year after year. His shoe from a non-known entity in footwear all of a sudden skyrocketed. Now we see it struggling. Why? Because you're a villain now. And that's not fair to Steph. Steph was drafted, took your team from shit, and brought them to the promised land, won you a championship, 2 MVPs, and this is how you repay Steph Curry? By loading up with dicks?
We just got one guy. Oh, no, we got two guys. We got two.
No, 4.
Okay.
Durant.
All right, Rovi. All
All
right,
right, hold
Rovi.
on. All right,
Barnes.
Mo.
No, two that joined the team. That joined
Okay.
the team.
Okay.
KD and
So-
Josh.
This is a homegrown team, man. Like you said, it's a homegrown team. Like how many teams can boast that? Now, sans the Durant signing, but I mean, why would you ruin that? They ruined it.
Let's give Rovi
a chance.
a chance.
The fans
to,
are dicks too now. Sorry, go.
Why
Go,
would
go,
we
go.
do? Okay, excellent, Mo. I love hearing it. Valid points, fantastic. Well, first of all, why did we do it? Well, we were going to lose Harrison Barnes anyway, no matter what. So if we were going to lose our forward, our 3, we had to get another 3. So, well, if the best 3 in the sport is available and we have cap space and finally somebody good wants to go to our team, because nobody good ever goes to our team and willingly wants to go to our team, KD, well, if you're smart, you're going to snatch him up. That's why we had to do it. Now, KD coming over and being an absolute dick, well, to the media, to the fans here, so you say, in Oakland, and just to the people welcoming him. Mm-hmm. If you're going to get asked about a man every effing day, hey, man, what's up with Brody? Hey, man, I heard Brody's talking shit about you. Hey, man, I heard Westbrook wants to beat you up. Hey, man, I heard Westbrook is talking shit. Of course you're going to be annoyed at the media, you know, and he's a social media savvy guy. He's always online. That's the only headlines that made the news. That dominated for so long. Teddy's just like, man, I just
Right, but that didn't come out of nowhere. You knew that. You knew that coming into it. That didn't blindside you that those were going to be the questions. And it's not like he's playing for the Warriors for free.
What?
You know, this is part of the job.
Of course not.
It's part of the job, man. You get paid for this.
Exactly. So what he did was he was just like, hey, man, I'm just going to answer you as gentlemanly, as nice as I could. But, you know, he blew off. He's human. He's human. He's allowed to be human. It was the biggest news. Okay, so anyway, that's KD. Who else? I mean,
Jaja.
Jaja. See, I don't know much about Jaja. I didn't even study him. I mean, I knew he came from.
Let me tell you a little bit about him. He knocked out Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I see nobody loves Kawhi Leonard more than I do. That's Jinno. I mean, that's my guy. You know, and
sure.
He's my famous non-Warrior.
Yeah.
After the Warriors, he's my favorite guy. I love Kawhi. Classy player. We were robbed of a great series because he was out. He got knocked out. And I'll tell you, I'm more mad at Pachulia than you guys are. I wanted to beat the Spurs fully loaded, but, you know, that unfortunately happened. Incidental contact. I don't know what to say. Yeah, right. He has this history of being a goon or whatever. But that play, I've only seen it once. I'm not an expert. I only needed to see it once, and it wasn't intentional. It happened, and, you know, what can you do about it? Who else?
Draymond?
I mean, Draymond, okay, yes. Well, Mo already said he gets the pass. I mean, how are you going to be mad at somebody who looks like the donkey from Shrek?
I can't say bad anything about Draymond. I'm with you on that one. We're in agreement there.
So we need a bit of that spice in our team. He's our, you know, he's the Spitfire. He's the piston. He's the engine. We need it to be a little mean and nasty because we're all just a bunch of nice guys. I mean, Steph, really, you're right. You called it the nicest guy. You know, the first family of the NBA, the nicest, you know, his family's supportive. He's not a LeVar Ball kind of dad. You know, I mean, Steph tried to look mean this season, and he grew a beard, and he looks like a leprechaun. You know, he doesn't even look mean. When I mean, I'm a fan, and I'm like, Steph, just shave the beard and be the nice guy. And you know what? And same with, you know, you can't clump him as a bad guy. Of course, Clay, you can't clump him. All class, never talks. He's more famous for being friends with his dog. You know, I mean, he's a person who has no. He doesn't care about fame or whatever. His shoe deal is from China. I mean, he doesn't care. Obviously, jeez, you know. I mean, who else is there? What do we got?
You got Iguodala.
Oh, class act. Like you said, high character, Mo, class act. Don't need somebody who's been a starter all his life and he says, all right, I'll come off the bench. I mean, that already shows his character, right? Straight up.
JaVale McGee.
Livingston.
Yeah.
Livingston. Oh, JaVale McGee, yeah. I mean, come on. How can you not want to root for JaVale McGee? He was almost going to play for us, the Philippine team.
Yeah,
and
that's
now
right.
he's coming off the bench for a potential championship-winning team. How do you not, as a Filipino, want to root for JaVale? Because he wanted to play for us. Come on now. And then Livingston. if you don't vote for Livingston, who's coming off major reconstructive surgery of a debilitating injury that would have kept anybody from playing sports, much less walking, and you vote against this guy who's also a class act high character, you have no soul. He's such a nice
But Rovilson, listen, that's what I'm saying is like the Warriors have wasted guys like Iguodala, Livingston, Curry, Clay by bringing in some of these goons, man. I just feel bad. I think maybe they needed an edge. They were looking like they needed an edge, and they overdid it. You know how sometimes like, oh, I need a pair of shoes, so I'm going to buy 6 of them when you only needed 1 pair. I think that's what happened with the Warriors, and I feel bad about it, but I'm still rooting for them, man.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? It is fun to watch as well, and thanks for rooting for them despite, everyone wants to just automatically hate on them. We did try to bring a goon. I'll admit that. We brought in Matt Barnes, and I was like, my fellow fan friends were like, no, we hate Matt Barnes. He's a gangster. He's a thug. He was a big nemesis to us during the Clippers series.
Mm-hmm.
We hated the Clippers. We hated him. But now that he's on our team, I was waiting for him to get thuggish. Dude has been like a pussycat. He hasn't gotten in any fights. He's not even playing. It's like
he's
the
not
whole
playing.
He's not even. Yeah, I mean, he got injured. So Matt Barnes isn't the thug that we rented him to be, But he's cool. It can come out, and maybe if we get into some scrap, in the heat of battle, the 7-game series of the finals, he might be thuggish and come out. But it's that too. It's Oakland. We're Oakland. We're known as the.
You're supposed to be the badass
blue-collar
team.
town.
Yeah, the working class team. Right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, Jinno?
Well, I mean, I never really thought of them as the bad guys in that sense. I mean, yes, there are dicks there, but like Mo and Rovi pointed out, you kind of need it sometimes. You kind of need to have that 1 dick or 2 dicks on the team. But Ro's right also. I mean, Matt Barnes hasn't really acted up. Matt Barnes has, he's
just
been
insulted Salt Lake City as a place to hang out and all that stuff, which was unnecessary. Then we're talking about basketball here, and he's talking about nightlife. I mean,
but that's a little bit of a dick move. But that's not like the normal. That's not as bad as other, some of the other things that Matt Barnes has done before.
You're right.
I mean, and he's not the only person who said that also.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I gotta give me the one thing here though. If you know Rovilson, he's always this polite, super diplomatic person, and I felt it here. I felt some sort of I guess the passion to come out from Rovi. So I'm actually gonna be giving him my vote for this one.
How dare you?
Not just because he's a good friend of mine.
I got a friend.
All right. That's good enough. That's good enough for you to win.
Yeah, Rovi is a very good friend, a very, very good friend of us, of all of ours here. But I just hate the living daylights out of the Warriors, man. I hate them to hell. I mean, it's so hard to cheer for them. I mean, they're in the same conference. They're in the same division as the Suns, so it makes me hate them. I'm a Suns fan, so I mean,
you're a Suns guy. Oh, yeah, they're great.
He's trying to get the vote. He's like, oh, they're a great team. Devin Booker's quite a catch, isn't he?
Hey, Devin Booker beat Clay's record for the most points in the season. I thought we were going to hold it, but hey, he did it, man. He needed 8,000.
Thank you for the moral victory.
Thank
you for the moral victory.
Trying to get that vote. Rovi, sorry, man.
I love that meme though when the whole team took a picture and then
after a loss,
written 70 points written on a white piece of paper, and then another NBA player quoted, "Wow, I never seen a team so happy to lose," something like that. I was like, "Oh, that's cold."
Yeah, and then Devin Booker just he added him back. It was Jay Crowder that said it, and he goes, "How many?"
Still an elbow.
I still a no. Yeah.
What did he say?
It was like there was no way you could guard me, and I still dropped 34 on you or something like that out of it. So
right.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go with Mo.
But you got my vote, Ro.
Mainly because he's gonna be the one that's gonna place my bet in Las Vegas at the end of the show, Rovi. But thank you for dropping by the show, man.
Thanks, bud.
And hopefully we can have you here in the studio.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to say, mainly because he's paying my paycheck. But
no, I wish. I'm not in that position. But Rovilson, thank you, sir. Thank you, Kuya, as we all said earlier. And continue to be a good guy. You are. This is
one of the best guys, really.
Yeah, this is a good guy.
Hey, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, guys. I've never done a threesome with dudes before, so this has been fantastic.
Yeah,
This
we
was a
talked
nice
about
foursome.
we said their dicks there like 4,000 times in the past 5 minutes. So yeah, this is it's perfect for the conversation. Thanks, brother.
I think we broke the record for most times dicks have been
Right.
And for the amount of times that dicks and assholes were talked about between four men, this was a very good job. We did very well. Thanks, Roby.
They think this was a prostate podcast.
Yeah. No.
Love you guys, man. Love you guys.
Later, bro.
Thank you.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one.
care.
It's Ball's Hug is the name of the show. Ball Hogs. Thanks, man.
We got a lot of callers still going on, but we're really long. You want to go one more caller?
Yeah, we're running out of time here. We do have a bunch, and guys, we do appreciate that you interact with us. If we can't get you on the show today, let's please prioritize you guys for next week. Yes,
please.
Let's pick one caller here, and then let's save the other guys for next week and send them our apologies, of course.
Yes, I believe we have Nolene. Nolene will be joining us. Are you there, Nolene?
Hello.
Hi, Nolene. Where are you calling us from?
What?
Where are you calling us from?
Nolene?
Nolene, are you there?
Where are you, Nolene? San ka?
Nolene, asa ka, Brad?
Asa Rodriguez Rizal.
Oh, in Rizal. Nice.
Fair enough.
Welcome to the show, buddy. Okay, so what is your debate topic?
I just want to ask you all there, what are your predictions? How many games we are playing in the finals?
Well, why don't we do this? We said that on air. Let me ask you what your prediction is, and if we disagree with you, you get to debate one of us, okay? Because I had Warriors in 6. What do you have?
Oh, I have Warriors in 6 also.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. I have that too.
Brilliant minds,
Yeah,
as they say.
yeah.
Yes.
You could have sensed that one from a mile away, huh?
So the only one that is disagreeing with us that the Warriors are going to lose, and that's to the Cavaliers. Obviously.
let me clarify.
No, you said Cleveland in 6.
I said Cleveland in 6.
Haba ng hair ni Jinno. Yeah.
Warriors in 7. I said
No, you
Cleveland,
said Cleveland
in
in
6. Warriors
6.
in 7.
No.
We'll
There's
go
no
with what
such
you
thing.
said first.
It's either one or the other. It's one or the other. Pick one. Is it going to be Cleveland in 6 or Warriors in 7?
You know what? I'll take Cleveland.
All right, here we go. All right, so Nolene, you get to go first. Why do you
think the Warriors in 6?
I feel that Warriors are playing so well these playoffs, and they are 12-0, I think, and it's a history. So I just picked to win Cavs in 2 games because of Kyrie beating Curry in the matchup. Also, I have no idea how the Cavs can defend Kevin Durant because I don't know if LeBron can defend KD because of a lot of shooters that have the Golden State has in their lineup. Also, the bench is more productive than the Cavs. And also, I think the Golden State Warriors is so healthy right now. I think Sasha Pachula is only one questionable. But I think they can do it because of JaVale McGee, how great he is in this 2017 playoffs, and that's it.
All right,
Okay.
Jinno,
Okay, valid points. Jinno.
for the win.
Well, he brought up a couple of things there that I wanna look into as well. I mean, he mentioned the health, and said that the Warriors are healthier than Cleveland. I think both teams are healthy. Fine. Well, we mentioned it earlier. Zaza might be coming back from a slight injury, but he should be fine. Even all players at this point of the season have bumps and bruises, dings and on their bodies, but I think the rest gave Cleveland and the Warriors as healthy squads as they can be. We won't see like last year or the year before, like 2 guys out, 3 guys out, and we're not going to see that. We're going to see them pretty much in full strength, and I think that favors actually if they're all together. That favors the Cleveland Cavaliers because they need more help in terms of their relief from the starting 5. Another thing that he said that is how will LeBron James guard Kevin Durant? Well, I mean, you're not really going to be able to stop Kevin Durant. But I think if there's one player on that roster that can, I would be LeBron. If LeBron James has the chance to chase history, to chase that ghost. I mean, that's really his what his ultimate goal is, right? I mean, here you see two contrasting superstars, the two best players in the league, in the world, and they have a different mentality, they have a different mindset. One wants to be the greatest of all time basketball player, and it seems like that's really what he cares about. The other wants to win, but he wants an easier time winning. Where, in a sense, that fine, LeBron James went back to Cleveland with a younger Kyrie, Kevin Love, but he knew that he wasn't going to win in Miami anymore, so he had to give himself a chance. Kevin Durant would have had that in OKC, and he has a better chance in Golden State. But I mean, that's Durant for me. The matchup between Durant and LeBron James, it will come down to that, because we mentioned already a while ago what Kyrie does to Steph Curry. He plays his best game against Steph, but LeBron James has owned Kevin Durant. Whether he was with OKC, whether he's now with the Warriors, LeBron James, I think, will continue to own Kevin Durant in this finals, and I think that will be a big enough factor for the Cavs to take this series, to take this finals and the championship in 6 games.
All right, Mo, your thoughts?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I mean, I obviously agree with the caller based on the statements. I'm just not sure if the points were given. One point I like to call what the caller made is I think, offensively. I mean, how do we say this? Okay, both teams are great offensive teams, right? But one team is a much better defensive squad, and that's the Warriors, and I think that gives them the edge. We talked about a lot of this, earlier into the show, so I don't want to repeat everything. But I think maybe that should be highlighted a little bit more, that the Warriors are a much better defensive team than the Cavaliers are. Well, we didn't maybe touch on it too much, but it's going to count for something. This might be a very close contested series, and it might not be. We don't know, because that can really be the key there. Both teams are going to hit threes. Both teams are going to shoot threes. Both teams have star power and all of that stuff. But again, it could go 4 or it can go 7. We don't know. There's one overwhelming favorite, and I think ultimately is because the Warriors are a better defensive team and they're a better fluid offensive team. And that's what's gonna happen. That's why they're gonna win. I don't know if the LeBron angle of him going back to Cleveland or Durant going to the Warriors is going to play anything in this series. I think that's all. Everything's clean slate. Mm-hmm. I don't think that storyline is going to be relevant in the outcome of this series. LeBron versus Durant one-on-one, yeah, LeBron's going to win. Why? He's stronger. He's just as fast. He's a big guy as well. Maybe Durant can shoot over him because of height, but defensively, LeBron can overpower him. So in that matchup, yeah, we're going to give it to LeBron. But there are other players on the court, obviously. Yeah, you can say Kyrie's got the upper hand historically against Steph, but, everywhere else, while the Cavs can compete position by position, as I said earlier, there's no better team basketball out there than the Golden State Warriors. And I just don't see how you can beat a team like that.
So who wins
last year they got lucky. I think Cavaliers got lucky last year.
Okay. Yeah, who wins the debate?
I'll give it to the caller only because I agree with him in his initial statement, but I wasn't really too thrilled about the points on why they would win. I will
give it to Jinno, even if I don't agree with his statement, because he made better points for me. But Nalin, you still get a win. Congratulations! You're going to be walking away with some merchandise from Gilas. All right.
Yep. Get a Gilas shirt. Thank you, everyone.
Sir. Thank you for joining us here on Ball Hogs, and we'll have you get around another time. Okay.
Yes, I will also glad.
Okay. Thanks, Nalin.
Enjoy the playoff. I'm sorry, enjoy the finals.
Enjoy the finals.
And yeah, we appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, we're done. We're out of here. The show has finally come to a close. We had Rovi brought quite a chunk to the show
Yeah,
with the very large man that he is. Even on a podcast.
I know the guys in their mid-40s can be so energetic. It's awesome. Yeah. Good
All
stuff.
right. Well, I'll be seeing you guys from Cleveland next week.
Hey, man, enjoy it.
I will.
Enjoy it and soak it in.
I will be loving every second of that.
In an unrelated thing, though, if I can just throw out a plug there, I will be leaving for Toronto on Thursday. This is not my thing, but this is Chopper, of course, my significant other. TV5 has the Kapatid playoffs.
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
Olympics, I don't know why. Kapatid playoffs, which is a basketball tournament. It's free to enter, free to attend. It's in Toronto and in Vancouver this coming weekend. So, if you guys want to check it out and you listen and you're from that area and you want to be a part of it, please do support it. Again, I'm just going to be a stage husband here and watch and stuff and enjoy it with you guys. So if you want to hang out, I'm more than welcome. I'll be free the entire time. You know, Benji Paras is going to be there. Jimmy Alapag is going to be there. So it'll be a lot of fun. And, of course, Chopper's going to be there. So little plug for that. The Kapatid playoffs this weekend in Toronto and in Vancouver. I'll be hanging around and I'll be watching the finals from Canada. And I'll be back here for the episode, though, in Vegas for our next episode.
All right. For Jinno Rufino, Mo Twister, I'm Aaron Atide, everybody behind the scenes here at Ball Hogs PH. That wraps up another episode. Let's go, Cleveland! Let's get that win. Yeah. You guys have a great one.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.